Nebraska is a biological crossroads of North America, where prairie meets ponderosa pine forest, where wetlands speckle the environment, and over 23,000 miles of rivers and streams ribbon through the landscape. The vast grasslands of the Sandhills stretch the imagination to pioneer days, while the Pine Ridge escarpments tower over the landscape. Nebraska is the place where plant and wildlife communities of different regions meet, giving the state a rich diversity of wildlife viewing opportunities. The eastern edge of the state is jaggedly outlined by the mighty Missouri River. It resembles a broad snake of fast-flowing water flanked by wetlands, forests, and prairies. White-tailed deer are commonly found browsing in the deciduous woodlands that blanket the bluffs. About 140 bird species nest in the Missouri River Valley, including species like the eastern bluebird, white-breasted nuthatch, and yellow-billed cuckoo. In the southeast corner of Nebraska, birders visiting Indian Cave State Park can expect to find 100 species in a day. Moving west from the Missouri River, one can still find preserved areas of tall grass prairie. This habitat once stretched from Ohio to Nebraska as an endless sweep of shoulder-high bluestem. Today, nearly 98% of the tall grass prairie has been converted to agriculture, but Nebraska hosts some remaining high-quality remnants. This prairie is more than just tall grass. It contains over 350 species of plant life, including butterfly milkweed, goldenrod, and purple coneflower. The regal fritillary is declining in many states, but is relatively abundant in this prairie habitat where its larva feeds on wild violet. This spectacular insect can still be seen flitting above these prairie remnants. The bubbling song of the bobolink is also commonly heard. 9 Mile Prairie near Lincoln is one of the larger examples of tall grass prairie open to the public. The prairie comes to life with the songs of meadowlarks and dickcissels. The majestic Sandhills cover nearly 20,000 square miles of north-central Nebraska, making the Sandhills the largest grass-stabilized dune field in the Western Hemisphere. This fragile ecosystem is remarkably intact, with a variety of specialized plants suitable to the landscape. There are nearly 2,000 sandhill lakes, which tend to be shallow. They are full of plants and invertebrates favored by waterfowl like trumpeter swans, numerous shorebirds, and wading birds like the American avocet. The rare Blanding's turtle can be readily found in Nebraska's sandhill marshes. The open grasslands provide habitat for the world's largest sandpiper, the long-billed curlew, while blowouts of open sand are home for the threatened blowout penstemon. Both white-tailed deer and mule deer are common. As well, smaller mammals like the kangaroo rat and the jackrabbit. The Valentine National Wildlife Refuge is in the heart of the Sandhills and has viewing blinds for sharp-tailed grouse and prairie chickens. Their spring mating rituals are among nature's best performances. If Nebraska is the biological crossroads of North America, the main intersection is the Niobrara River Valley. 5 distinct biotas merge here: the Rocky Mountain coniferous forest, the eastern deciduous forest, northern boreal woodlands, Sandhills prairie, and northern mixed grass prairie. This area is the extreme distribution edge for 160 plant species. Smith Falls State Park features these odd plant groupings. Paper birch and aspen are found in close proximity to ponderosa pine and bur oak. Eastern and western birds overlap. People come to the area to enjoy a relaxing canoe float down the Niobrara River and enjoy Smith Falls, the tallest in Nebraska. It is just one of several cascades to be found in the Valentine, Nebraska area. Additionally, a visit to the Niobrara Valley Preserve, managed by the Nature Conservancy, will reward you with views of a bison herd roaming as they once did across the plains. The western end of the state is the shortgrass prairie, where all available soil moisture is depleted by the end of the growing season. The rocky soils are littered with hardy plants like prickly pear, Shortgrass prairies are home to species adapted to such extreme living. This is classic pronghorn country. A long checklist of birds awaits your discovery, including the western kingbird, rock wren, and lark bunting. Birds of prey and prairie rattlesnakes keep the residents of prairie dog towns ever vigilant. If you're fortunate, you might even glass the uncommon swift fox. In sharp contrast to the prairie, the Pine Ridge and Wildcat Hills escarpments rise up on the horizon, together extending over 170 miles. These ranges are sandstone hills covered with ponderosa pine, mixed with junipers and stands of western species such as mountain mahogany and Mariposa lily. Mountain animals like bighorn sheep, mule deer, and elk thrive in this world of rock and pine. Birds like magpies, red crossbills, and pine siskins populate these ranges. Visit the Wildcat Hills Nature Center and surrounding wild country to experience a diversity of insect, plant, and animal life, all in one of Nebraska's more ruggedly scenic areas. In south central Nebraska, rainwater basins dot the landscape. Their existence depends upon water runoff that gathers in shallow, clay-lined basins to form small lakes or marshes. Although many rainwater basins have been drained for agriculture, over 400 wetlands remain. Each is a vital oasis providing nutrient reserves for the 14 million ducks and geese that migrate through the area. 90% of the mid-continent population of greater white-fronted geese funnel through this part of Nebraska. These lakes provide habitat for up to 300,000 shorebirds representing up to 40 species. Spring is announced in the central Platte River Valley by the echoing calls of 10 million waterfowl and about 300 other species of birds. Perhaps the most famous wildlife spectacle in Nebraska is the sandhill crane migration. From mid-February into early April, 500,000 sandhill cranes stop here to rest and eat before continuing their journey north. This is by far the largest assemblage of cranes in the world. Their vibrating trill seems to come from every direction as they leave nearby cornfields to evening roost on Platte River sandbars. It is an ages-old show and one that can be viewed from places like the Hike Bike Bridge at Fort Kearny State Recreation Area or from viewing blinds at Audubon's Rose Sanctuary. Of course, the Platte is also critical habitat for the whooping crane. This majestic white bird is the tallest in North America, and while extremely rare, can occasionally be seen alongside its duskier cousins. This annual assemblage of bird life should be on the bucket list of every true naturalist. From our eastern woodlands, across our diversity of prairie, to our rocky, piney heights in the west, Nebraska is rich with wildlife spectacles to enjoy. See you out there.